I've been working for a long time for, as an activist, fighting for our rights to live ordinary lives. And here I am, 40 years on, still doing it and still struggling to have our basic needs met. The problem that we have with this voluntary euthanasia bill is that it's going to put many, many people with disabilities at risk of killing themselves. Now, we know it's voluntary, but our lives are far from unfettered by ableism. Do you all know what ableism is? It's the same as sexism and racism, and it's discrimination and social prejudice against us. And it works in a similar way to sexism and racism, but really in a more severe way, because we know we've got the NDIS now, but we fought for a long time to get that, and as we know, it's just been stopped in Canberra because someone had a bit of a problem with carrying on through whatever else was going on around. So our lives are very precarious, and we can't support voluntary euthanasia and until our lives are made equal to everyone else's, till we've got the same opportunities as everyone else, because we haven't at the moment. We're shut out of society, we're left in poverty on the disability support pension, we can't get jobs, and often our basic needs aren't met. Our needs to get up out of bed, have a shower, and while we are left like that, while we are discriminated against by the general population, which happens every day, then our lives are, we do suffer. And that's one of the requirements of this bill, is suffering. We do suffer, and the other requirement is that the doctor says there's nothing medically that can be done to relieve our suffering. Well, there isn't anything medically that can be done to stop ableism. So therefore, until ableism is reduced, we have our full needs met, then we're at risk of suffering and therefore going and requesting euthanasia. For example, at the moment, I'm asking Disability SA for a stand-up wheelchair because I have a type of condition that means my muscles will contract and I'll end up stuck in a sitting position and suffer a lot of pain from that. And Disability SA says, no, I can't have a stand-up wheelchair. They are expensive, but that would alleviate, it would keep my body stretched out so that I wouldn't get to that point of being all bent up and in pain. But they say no. But what it will cost the government if they don't spend that bit of money now, it will cost in support for me because I'll be even more disabled. So I could be in the position in a few years where I'm in so much pain that I'm there asking for euthanasia, but not because of my disability, but because the world hasn't shared with me. And people are getting killed all the time because they're disabled. They're getting killed by their parents, and the parents walk out of court free, no consequences. So we're in a very precarious position. So we need preconditions to be met, and that is that we are given the support we need. We know the NDIS is coming, but we're watching them getting mingy and tight on what we're allowed to have. It's got to be reasonable and necessary. But it's an able-bodied person who makes the decision, ultimately, whether what we need is reasonable and necessary. So we're always at the mercy of non-disabled people who are generally, and you know, I admit to some ableism myself, generally are ableist. They don't know what it's like to be disabled, so they can't make a proper judgment what's reasonable and necessary for us. That's about all I have to say. My colleagues here will have more to say. I have to go off to work because I've had a meeting organised for some weeks. I work with people with disabilities, and I support them to become empowered to fight for their rights, as I've been doing for 40 years. And I need them. My hope in life, I'm 60 now, so I might have another 10, 20 years, who knows. But all I can do now, after 40 years of fighting, and yes, we've got a long way, but there's a hell of a long way to go. And all I can do is help the young ones become empowered so that they can keep up the fight. And we get mighty tired of fighting. We don't need to be fighting all the time just to live ordinary lives. So I'm going to go off and do that important work and leave you with all my colleagues here, and they can inform you a whole lot more. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.